Food brings people together in such a unique way. I can still recall times in my great-grandmother's house where anyone who showed up was fed. My favorite was always her flat cheesy bread. So good. And my brother loved her sesame seed buns. She always had jars full of caramels and gumdrops for us to sneakily steal. Food really is meant to be shared. And so often it carries the traditions and stories of the people who made it. And that is why Venba hits me so deeply. While it tells a story that I have never lived, and to some degree never will, it's a story that I got to feel through its food and family. And just as a quick note before we get too much further in, I have looked into the pronunciations of some of the names and dishes that are in this game. I'm going to do my best to say them correctly. That being said, if I don't, please feel free to correct me in the comments so I can learn more. I have never made dosa, and I have never had to translate for my family. But the feeling of someone cooking for you because they love you is a feeling that a lot of us can recognize. And when Venba puts you in the kitchen, hands deep in batter, trying to remember how it was made, you feel that love. Venba follows an Indian Tamil family who has immigrated to Canada. They are hoping for a better future that they didn't see possible back home. This is a story about immigration, family tensions, and identity, and the power of food connecting people. Food is maybe the biggest aspect in Venba, and it's not just the mechanic, it is really what carries the story. For Venba and her husband Pavlan, food is how they remember home. It's how they pass culture and comfort to their son, Kavin. Each puzzle is an act of recall for Venba, decoding worn and stained recipes from a tattered cookbook, trying to remember how her Amma made it. And with each dish that's made, we see how food bridges the past to the present. While solving each puzzle, you are remembering with Venba. Steaming idli, listening to the crackle of spices in oil, and adjusting the temperature so everything cooks just right. It is tactile and fun. And through this process, you're learning not just how these foods are made, but what they mean. And for Venba, these meals are connection to her culture, her home, and the people that stayed behind. If there is a dish that makes you feel comforted or nostalgic, let me know in the comments. Mine personally is a shepherd's pie that my mom used to make when I was younger. Still one of the best things ever. This story does not shy away from the pain of starting over in a foreign country. And each of our three characters really struggle with immigration in their own way. I want to acknowledge that I haven't experienced that journey personally. I only know what friends have shared and what games like Venba allow me to witness. And I really think that stories like this help to expand our empathy for other people. They really show how the smallest things like school lunches, names, and the way that you speak can just carry a lot of weight, especially when you feel out of place. For Venba, she tries to cling to her culture. She struggles with learning a new language and adapting to a different culture. Pavlan faces a lot of hardship when it comes to work, from discrimination to just plain violence. All he wants to do is provide for his family. And Kavin grows up pulled between two different cultures. He allows his friends to call him Kevin, and he is embarrassed to eat the home-cooked meals that his mom provides for him at school. He becomes the family translator. He navigates the Canadian culture a lot faster than his parents do, and the gap between them grows. Venba wants Kavin to embrace his roots, where Kavin wants Venba to let go a little bit, and Pavlan is stuck in between these two, trying to help them connect again. As this rift grows, Kavin becomes eager to leave home, and when he moves away from college, sees it as a fresh start for him. And he distances himself from his family as much as he can. Years later, when he is a writer for a TV show, they ask him to provide an authentic Indian dish, and that request has him spiraling back to all of the things he tried to remove himself from. He opens his mother's cookbook, which has been lovingly restored over the years by Venba. But Coven struggles to read what's written in this cookbook, and he starts to see what he has lost. The act of cooking draws him back into his childhood. It pushes him to reconnect, not just with the food, but with his mother. And again, we get to see how food bridges the past and the present back together. And in the final scenes, we see Coven has gone to visit his mother in Tamil Nadu. Venba is a beautiful reminder that food does more than just nourish our bodies, but it connects us to those around us. Recipes can hold stories. Every dish is a way of saying, let me share a little bit of myself with you. Venba feels like being invited into someone's home and trusted with their stories. I left this game feeling hungry because the food looks so good, and I want to try it so bad, but also feeling quite full of appreciation for being able to see a story that is unlike anything I have ever experienced. And while this is a very short game, it gives you a glimpse into a family and a culture and experience that might be far from your own, but in a lot of ways, deeply familiar. If you've ever felt out of place in a new situation, if you've ever missed somebody, if you've ever cooked just to feel a little closer to home, Venba will speak to you. And I really think that it's worth the first-hand experience. Thank you so much for being here. If you've enjoyed this look into Venba and how food really connects us to each other, go ahead and hit the like button. You know, it tells the algorithm that this is a video worth sharing. And subscribe so you don't miss out on the next cozy adventure we explore. And if you want another game that explores stories through mundane actions, check out this video here. I think it's gonna be here. And I'll see you next time.